Beyond the pages.
Beyond the pages.
Beyond the pages.
Beyond the pages.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the final episode of Beyond the Pages podcast for this year 2024. This podcast, as you know, is brought to you by Accessible Publishers Limited. I can't even believe it already. We are at the end of 2024, and the most exciting part of this is that you are here with us. You are ending this episode with us. We can't be more grateful. My name is Uchechukwu Judith Nwafor. And with me here today is my favorite co-host,
Oyeyele Oluwakemi. It's a pleasure, and I'm so happy to be here again on Beyond the Pages podcast. It feels so unreal, doesn't it, Judith? Because December always comes with the mix of nostalgia and excitement at the same time. Yeah. But today we are diving into both, from the beginning of everything that we've learned, the most memorable moments, the key lessons we've learned on this year's episode, and I don't know, there's a lot of things that are loaded.
Yeah, we've
year
done a lot of episodes, amazing topics. We shared lots of tips, practical tips. We shared lots of educational topics. So let's go into it. Let's explore the recap of the highlights of each of the topics.
Yes, whether you've been with us from the beginning or you've just tuned in recently, don't worry. This episode is an episode of celebration of everything that we've learned and everything we've done so far in this year. So sit back, relax, and let's revisit all this journey together.
Yeah, so I'll be starting the first episode we had this year. But let me just summarize that throughout this year we've had amazing guests. We've treated impactful and valuable topics. There are lots of lessons to learn. And if in case you missed any of these topics, I will encourage you to go back to all of them and revisit it. So let's just recap. The first one we had for the beginning of this year, we treated, to start the year on a very positive note, we treated the practical tips to make 2024 your best reading year ever. If you followed us with that tips, I wonder how many books you would have read by now. Like you would be counting how many books you would have read by now. So I don't know if you followed us. Like, it set the tone for an amazing positive year.
Yes. And I remember that we had on board that very day for that episode Mr. James Adiola. Mr. James Adiola. It was so interesting. That episode was so interesting, and I really loved everything, the tips and everything we shared that day. And some of the tips, let me remind you, that is setting realistic goals and diversifying one's reading list. And let me also add, dehydrate yourself, because I remember if you are reading and you're not dehydrating yourself, I'm sorry, it is let me say it is nothing, because you will feel tired at the same time while reading. So even when you are done reading, you will not be able to place everything you read. And like, if you want your reading journey to be super,
not even just deeper, it's something so that will also be entering your brain.
So if you want your reading journey to be super excited, for book lovers, for anybody that loves reading, this episode is a must listen to. Yes.
We go to February. February, we treated 2 topics. We had 2 episodes for February. And as we all know that February is the month of love. Love is always in the air in February. So of course, we treated something about love. So we had amazing guests. We had lots of guests. We had 3 guests that had something to share.
Yes.
We had Shay Lawal, we had Judith, Jani, we had the last person was Emmanuel Oladijo. So we had them to tell us about the love. We discussed 5 love languages from Gary Chapman, and how you can master them and use them better for your relationships. So that was an amazing one that we had. That was the practical tips, and that was the Valentine's edition, love languages for lasting bonds.
But let me ask you,
okay,
your love language, is it money or act of giving?
You know, we also discussed those.
For me,
yes,
we've discussed it, but for me, and I remember I said it that day, that my love language is money. If you want to love me, you give me money.
But you know, your love languages might not just be one.
Yeah,
I like money, but also acts of service. Like I need to see it. You know, I don't really like words of affirmation. That's why we just be talking. Like you need to show it. Maybe money, or you are assisting me one or two. Like you know when you are needed to help. So it's very important to go and listen to that episode. All of us that were around, we shared our love languages, and it was an amazing one.
Yes, it was an amazing moment. And then that same month in February, we had a discussion with one of our authors, Susan Belfer, the author of Part of Lucas, and it was so interesting to have her on board that day, because that day she shared with us the inspiration behind the book, the emotions behind the book, and the emotions behind the theme Part of Lucas. It was so interesting to have her on board that very day. So it's so interesting.
Like her personal story.
Yes.
From her personal experience.
Yes.
Told us why she wrote the book. She was kind of telling us her personal story written down. From the author herself explaining it.
Yes.
So it was amazing.
And the Part of Lucas, the book is also one of the books that was chosen by WAEC for literature, WAEC and NECO. So for your school, for your student, for your child, if you want to get this book, you can also come to us to get Part of Lucas by Susan Belfer.
Then in March, we went to the educational side. We talked about overcoming challenges, teaching poetry to students. We had two amazing guests teach us that. We discussed about that topic. They were able to tell us practical ways teachers can teach poetry. In fact, that episode was a very interesting one. Because I used to be a lover of poetry, but I forgot how it used to feel. But when they were guiding us through it, we were discussing. so they even read poetry for us.
Yes.
It was so amazing.
Yes.
I was able to reconnect back. It reignited my love for poetry.
Yes.
As they shared practical tips on how teachers can make it realistic for their students. Like if you're a teacher, especially if you are a literature teacher, it's very important that you go back to that episode and you explore one or two. It's very, very beneficial to you.
Yes, it is.
So for that episode, we had Ojo Abayomi and Larry Abata that guided us through that.
Yes. And I remember that Mr. Abayomi that day, he was saying that all these baby shark, all these cocoa melon, they are a poet on their own.
Exactly.
So, and he also shared how he was able to balance his life when it comes to poet and also being a real estate. Like, I don't know, because I asked him that day, how were you able to balance it? Because real estate is one job on its own. Being a poet is another job. So how can you manage? And he said, whenever I am in my quiet time, I devote myself to writing.
And the lessons learned was top notch.
Yes.
You need to check out that episode. It's very important.
Yes. And in April, our own very person, our editorial manager, Mr. Caleb Akimola, and in that episode, we brought the topic to him that bringing ideas to life inside editorial pipeline. How can you bring ideas to life? How can we keep the author's voice by the process of editing, and you are not removing the author's voice? He told us how we can do that. He told us if you are an upcoming editor, this episode is a must listen to for you to go. So you can go back to our website, you can go back to our page to listen to this episode.
Yeah, he was able to tell us, like, you are an editor and you've been battling with how can you edit this book, how can you manage your author, the person that is writing, how can you be able to retain your quality and also retain the person's voice.
Yes.
He taught editors how to do that with his own experiences. So you can always go back if you are finding any difficulty, any challenges. You can also go back to that topic and explore it. So after that, we had our own person again. We had the marketing manager for our South zone.
Yes.
Talk about marketing challenges, how marketers can overcome marketing challenges. This one is not really just book. Even if you are marketing any other thing, marketing any other products, like he was able to teach us, to guide us through how a marketer can overcome challenges, how you can be able to grow your market, how you can be able to sell more to people. There we had Mr. Fares to tell us more about it, and it was quite an interesting one. If you're a marketer, this podcast is for you. That podcast episode is for you.
Yes.
So I think we had another podcast in that month.
Yes. We had another podcast. So right after Mr. Faleye, we discussed these tips for parents and teachers. But it's majorly for parents.
Okay.
So, and the title of the episode is Tips for Picking Ideal Novels for your child's reading journey. And it was an interesting episode because some parents, I want my child to be this, I want my child to be that. But at the same time, the parents are not noticing what the child wants, what the interest of the child is, or if the child is interested in English and the doctor and the mother said, okay, I want you to be a doctor. So definitely the child needs to go to a science class. But deep down in the child's mind, I want to be an linguistics, I want to be an artist. So let us know what our children want, what they want. So you can take your child to a library, to a bookshop. Let the child pick the book he or she wants to read.
That's very, very important. You have to let your child, follow his or her own interests so that you don't discourage them from reading. So we shared that tips. It's very important for parents to go and explore and know the tips you can use as parents to build up a child that loves reading. Apart from then, in August, we had an amazing topic, an amazing episode again. August is for youths. We always celebrate International Youth Day in August.
Yes.
So of course, we had to go towards that direction. We shared how youths, the reading culture is going down by the day. We always say that youths, we are always glued to our phones.
Yes.
Now we can always read with our phones. So how can we now read with phones and not get distracted? How can we focus without following one notification or the other and getting lost on the way? So this is the topic that we treated in that August, and we had an amazing guest that helped us to explore the topic. Mr. Oyeyele, he was able to guide us through strategies. He's a versatile reader. He reads widely and he makes use of digital reading platforms. So he was able to guide youths on how you can read, retain focus, and read for a long time. Understand what you are reading with your phone.
Yes, and it was an interesting moment with him. It was so interesting to have him on board.
And very practical.
Yes, it was so practical because it was the way he was responding to our question that this is what I do in my own private life.
Yes, this is how he does it.
Yes. He reads it. Both physical and ebook.
Yes, of course.
And he also said he has an ebook platform of his own. So it was a very fantastic moment with him. So right after that, we had an episode in September whereby we had the guest named Mrs. Bridget Akingbolu. So we brought before her this topic, how multilingual education supports marginalized students. Yes, and it was a great opportunity to have her on board because she is a teacher and she has been teaching for a very long time. She has been to the north, she has been to the east, and now she's in the west teaching. it was a great opportunity to have her on board. She was able to explain to us how multilingual education marginalized students.
Yeah, and she was just the best person for it. And if you're a teacher and you are finding it difficult, maybe you are from the east and you see yourself teaching in the west, and you are finding it difficult on how to catch up. How can you follow up with this teaching? Like you're not able to understand the local language. This episode is for you. You can just go to our Spotify, and then follow up and read and understand how you can catch up with teaching people in the environment that you don't even understand their language. So it's very, very important so that people will not feel marginalized. Be able to teach people with multilingual background.
Yes.
So then I think the final one we had, the last one we had this year was overcoming distractions, how to stay focused and concentrated to study better. That was exam period and many people were writing exams, so we shared tips on how students can focus and study better without being distracted. I think we did it together, right?
I think so. Yes. We did it together.
We shared very important things that students need to know and how you can, as a student, can
stay focused.
And study better and
not being distracted.
And not being distracted or lose interest.
Yes.
I think that was the final one.
That was the final one.
Yeah.
That was the final one we had. That was the final episode we had.
Okay.
And in that episode, I remember that I was sharing that when it comes to reading, my phone is a big distraction for me.
Yeah.
So I get distracted easily with my phone, because if my phone is not on silent, or I didn't switch it off, or I didn't place the face of my phone down, I don't allow my phone to be facing down, anything that comes in, I will want to take it. My mind will be there that, there's a message that pop up, there's something that comes up. And I remember I told us that if we want to read, if we want to do that, if we want to read and we want to be focused in what we are doing, let us put our phone on do not disturb or silence. And you know that while putting your phone on silence, message can still pop up and you still see it, notification. So you can just
let me just quickly respond.
Yes. So you can just place the face of your phone, making it to be facing down. So if anything should pop up while your phone is on silent, you will not know about it. Yeah. So, and that is the wrap of our conversation from January up until this moment. So that's all our conversation in 2024. And in all of our conversation, if we all notice, we have covered every bit of personal development, education strategies, literary trends, and book marketing. We've covered everything. So we hope that you find value in our discussion, and we hope that you have a takeaway out of everything that we've shared so you can apply it to your daily life.
Yeah, exactly. As we wrap up for this episode, we are super grateful to have you join us to this moment, especially if you've been listening to our podcast from January till now, or even from last year. We started last year till this moment. We are super grateful. And if you have missed any of the episode, I encourage you to go back to the ones you know, because we have lots of valuable lessons to learn.
Yes.
I encourage you to go and explore. It has been very, very interesting times and everything. Also, feedback is very important. If you have something, if you have anything you want to share with us, you can reach us on our social media platforms. Then if you have any favorites out of our episodes, that we had 10 episodes this year, you can also reach out to us and share with us what's your favorite episode. Thank you so much for staying with us to this moment.
Yes. And thank you. I will also say thank you again for joining us throughout Beyond the Pages 2024. It has really been a pleasure, and we've really loved to have you on board. We really love that you've been tuning in to our podcast. As she said, you can contact us on our social media handles: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. We are Accessible Publishers. And on X, formerly known as Twitter, we are Accessible PDF. You can also check us out on our website www.accessiblepublishers.com. So, and we also want to wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance. So stay tuned and keep studying. Bye.